Welcome to Simply Joy by Kristen. I'm Kristen and I'm so glad you are here. Did you notice two things? First of all, I'm back outside. Oh, I'm so excited and I'm hoping it's going to last. And second, that I didn't use my hand in my intro. So I had a little crafting mishap this week and we can talk more about that later. But if you want to see what 35-ish minutes between two craft stores, my stash and my imagination came up with, let's go. The 4x4 canvases are back. Oh, I am absolutely loving this size and I think they're going to be so perfect for the craft show. I really do. So I chose two colors to be my backgrounds, a soft pink and a soft taupe. I absolutely think they are the perfect base colors. Next, the background. I don't think I've done a stencil in a while, but I think that this was perfect because I think it kind of looks like a flower. So to soften the colors up, I did white with a touch of pink on the pink background. And I think it was about a half pink to half white ratio on the taupe. I think that they turned out so pretty. Now, if canvases aren't your thing, that's okay. I'm going to give some options how you can expand on the ideas I'm presenting. So stay tuned for that. You may have been noticing that I have some trays I've been working on, and this has been a game changer. I absolutely love having all these trays. It sits underneath my workspace, and it frees up that I can make a lot of things at the same time. I picked up this set of 12 bunnies at Hobby Lobby. Their regular price $2.99, but all Easter was 40% off. So I got all of them for approximately $1.80, which puts them at about 15 cents a piece. I chose two colors for the background, white and the Barnwood. I think I made a few more of the white bunnies, and then I dry brushed the opposite color on them. I think that by dry brushing, it offers some dimension and definitely gave some more rustic vintage charm to them. You may be wondering what I'm going to do to cover that hole, and that is what we're going to tackle next. You could have also filled it with some air dry clay and painted it to match the rest of the bunny, but I had a different idea this time. So I went into the store knowing I was going to do 4x4 canvases, but I wanted something dimensional, and that is why I was looking for a bunny cutout, and I came across these tags, but I knew I needed a solution to cover the hole, and I found these flowers. They are so sweet. So by the time that they were on sale, it's roughly about 10 cents total for all three flowers, and I love the flower crown it created on them. I just think they are so sweet. Of course, you know I need to pull out that gold pen. I absolutely love the touch that it brings. But then I went one step further and I added it on the flowers. And, oh, love. Did you think I was done with the bunny? I could have called it right here, but I didn't. Because there's something about a bunny tail. Like, it's just the cutest. So I decided to try the frosting from DIY mixed with the paint, just like I did for snow when I was creating those cute little vignettes this past winter. And I wanted to see what they would look like for tails. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. It gave that extra dimensional look, but yet let the star of the show be the bunny and the flower crown. Do you remember that heart garland that's in my booth? Well, the season has changed and I needed to make something else. And so I decided to take the jute carrots from Dollar Tree and replace them with the hearts. But if you know, sometimes the styrofoam shows, and so to cover that, I painted it with Summer Crush from DIY. Now, it made it a little stringy, but I kind of felt like that's what carrots look like when you pull them out of the ground, so I was okay with that and just switched them out. I didn't even take down the fabric ribbon. I just replaced them, and I think it was the sweetest garland for this spring. Here are some other photos from the booth by adding in just some brightness and refreshing it for the spring season. Let's do one more round of canvases. And so I started with Apothecary, and this time I made the background a stamp. I don't remember where I got this, but I absolutely love it because it makes me think of Kindest regards. Now here's the question, the big question. How did I not know that I was going to love the combination of cake batter and Apothecary together? And second, how did I not come up with this idea of a chick before? Like, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't come until this year, but I absolutely love these two colors together. After 2 coats of the yellow and adding some polka dots around the edge, it was time for the face. One thing that I like doing, especially when I'm making multiples, is to sketch things out. I think that it helps me slow down, so I'm not in such a rush, and I think then I keep the whimsical Kristen touch, we'll say, to these canvases. The orange is a softened Summer Crush because I added some vintage linen into it. I don't think it was quite a half-half ratio, but I think it's the perfect muted orange to go with cake batter. Time for the eyes. I love this little tool. I don't know what it is called, but it was in a variety pack of paintbrushes, but it adds that perfect amount of white, especially when you're doing something that small. And did some dry brushing just to give the chick a little extra dimension. And at this point, I was like, it needs something more. And so I came up with the idea of adding the word peep to it. Now you're going to see that I'm actually using the edges of sheet music. Here's my reason why. First of all, I love the vintage coloring of the paper. So that's a win. But the second part is, I don't know if you felt, but some vintage sheet music is a thinner material. Therefore, it is easier to decoupage onto the canvas. And here you'll notice that I'm giving the edge just a little hint of ink. This helps stand out. Now, typically when I decoupage, I apply the Liquid Patina underneath and on top. However, I didn't. I only did it underneath because I'm going to be spray coating the whole canvas when I'm done. So I knew I wanted a second color for a background, and originally it was going to be Mint Chip from DIY. However, before I got going, I was watching one of Debbie's YouTube videos from Debbie's Design Diaries, and she did a combination of Old 57 and Mint Chip on this adorable flower pot with strawberries, and I fell in love with the color and decided to try it out. Not sure if I got the same ratio as she did, but it definitely is close, and I think it was such a fun background color to have for this little chick. What do you think? If you make a 4x4 of an adorable little chick, then you must make it into a 6x6 too. Oh my goodness, how adorable are they? Okay, so canvases are not your thing. How can you apply some of the ideas that I have on the canvases to something else? So maybe you could put it on a wood sign, or you could put it in a frame, or in these two examples, I chose to use a wood take, which I think would be so cute attached to like a little Easter basket. Or look at this on fabric, the embroidery hoop. I think this is so cute. And then I stamped the peep on the ribbon. So again, my heart for you is for you to be encouraged and inspired by what I create. You don't necessarily need to do the exact same thing unless you want to. So I knew that I needed to get a couple things at Hobby Lobby, and I got detoured through the Easter section, and I came across some fun bunny elements, and you're going to see a few other things throughout this. And I knew I needed to go to Michael's to get the 4x4 canvases, and I found bunnies there. So between the two shops, I think I had a max of 35 minutes. So they were quick stops, but I was so inspired by what I found that I went through my stash of items and found even more things, and I cannot wait to share how I blended my stash with the inspiration that I picked up at the two stores. Now, these cute little pink bunnies and teacup were meant for each other. So these bunnies on sale right now range for about 52 cents each. So they were the most expensive of the ones I got. But after seeing it in this little teacup, I can't even get enough of it. Didn't it turn out so sweet? I forgot that I had that little teacup in my stash. So I had to make one more pink bunny vignette. And so I found this cute little mug in my stash. But compared to the teacup, it felt like it needed to be more whimsical. So I pulled out the brand new transfer book from IOD's spring release. And I put a flower on there and then decided it needed to be higher up. So then I took these little wood spindles that my dad cut for me. Thanks, Dad. And I painted it to go with the flowers. However, you're going to soon see that I decided to go with more of a garden theme. And so I pulled out these carrots from the Dollar Tree. And this is actually a throwback photo, but to show you how you can take the carrot and you can mute it down. And I love how it turns out just by removing the greenery, changing the orange, giving it a little dirt. But here's what I mean, like it looks a little different. Well, as I was going through my stash, I found something that I bought in Georgia. So this was Heather from Create Your Own Cozy's favorite thrift store. And do you see that little wood circle? It's actually a Lazy Susan. And I was like, that would be so perfect if I need to rotate and show you something that has multiple sides. And so this is me trying it for the first time, but you can see that I have a garden theme and I added some more transfers to it. But oh, these two pink bunnies are so sweet. Can you pick a favorite? The next set of bunnies are also from Hobby Lobby. They come as a set of 3, and on sale they come to about 50 cents a piece. They are a mossy green, and you'll see later I'll use some Dollar Tree ones. These are a lighter, more muted tone, and I had these, what are they called? Peat pots that were in my stash that were already dry brushed with some white paint, and so I just started assembling them. I even pulled out these thrifted flowers that I've had for a very, very long time. But I want to show you the steps of building layers with these because look, they're cute. But if you add another layer, for instance, this greenery, you're going to see that the difference that it brings from just using the Spanish moss to then adding another element, some interest to it, like it makes a difference. And then these are the thrifted flowers I pulled out. You're adding in another element of interest. And again, I think the more that you create with layers, the more interest and essentially more value you're giving your items. Now, I thought I was done. I thought that this was the end of these projects. However, I felt like it needed one more element. And so I had a vision of what I wanted, and I went over to my laces and I didn't have what I wanted. But then I found something else, and I think it turned out even better because it had a border trim. But look at the difference. I think that it was just the final touch these needed. I think they turned out darling. Here we go, the Dollar Tree bunnies. So these are definitely a brighter moss green, and they come out as an average about 42 cents per bunny when you buy the set of 3. I feel like I'm giving you like a lowdown of like, oh, look at all these bunnies. This is how much they are in each shop. But I think it's telling you that it's what you like best and what price point works best for you, but most of them are pretty similar in price. So you really can just choose which ones you like best. Okay, let's get back to this one. This one, I am absolutely obsessed with how the tart and the little spindle came together. Like it is the cutest mini little pedestal, tiered tray, however you want to say it. I absolutely love how it turned out. However, I did take one for the team here. I got myself really good with the hot glue gun, and ouch, it hurt. I had to even make up a makeshift band-aid because I did not want any of the moss because I was doing so many projects with moss to get into it. But yes, it has been quite the adventure, but well worth it because I think it turned out so sweet. How pretty are these color combos? So these bunnies are from Michaels. They come in 2 different packs. There's 14 in each one. And after sales price, they come down to 22 cents a piece. So they are the most economical out of all the ones that I've shown you. However, I ran out of time and I wasn't able to create with them, but I had to share them with you because they're so sweet. I just love the colors. So really, you have so many choices on what bunnies to create with. It's time for the last project. I am going to be using a Dollar Tree bunny for this. So I found in my stash this tart tin and this stained wood circle along with these mushrooms. Not sure who needs to know this, but these cute little mushrooms kind of roll around, and you need your stems to dry. These little clamps from the Dollar Tree work great. Another fun find from my stash was this little basket. So I took some Apothecary and I toned down the orangeness of it, and it turned out so cute. Now these mushrooms and basket, oh, love them. Well, this was definitely a favorite find of my quick trip, and that was these Easter eggs from Hobby Lobby. Aren't they the sweetest? I think they come out to about 5 or 6 cents a piece, so they're so reasonable. So let's put them in a basket. Like, how sweet are they? I absolutely love it. So now we got all our items. We have the mushroom, we have the eggs. Let's start assembling it. This is currently where I am at. I think I'm going to add a few little flowers and then do the other side, and I'll show you when I'm done. I had so much fun creating all these items for my upcoming craft show, which is next weekend. Which one was your favorite, or which one inspired you? Please comment below. I would love to hear from you. I thought I would share a few of the ideas that are still in my head. First up, I have 4 6x6 canvases that I had planned to make larger bunnies, whether it was using multiples of the ones I made with the 4x4s or painting some. Second, these 4x4 canvases, they're that pretty color that I was inspired by Debbie, and I think I should paint strawberries on them. What do you think? Or check out these cute ones from Michael's. I see them in these little flower pots with either the Easter eggs or maybe some foam flowers. And after the last one I created where I had the little bunny doing the Easter egg hunt, what if I made it a bunny in a carrot patch? Like, my ideas are still in my head. So who knows which ones I'll do or which ones will inspire something else. Hello, my friend. I'm just so glad you are here. It has been a whirlwind of a week trying to make the most of every day as I prepare for a craft show that is next weekend. Yeah, it's on the 29th, and being sick derailed things a little bit, but it's so refreshing that the ideas that are in here I can start to create. And in all honesty, I can't keep up with my ideas right now. Like, I was creating as fast as I could, but my ideas are still here and I have more to create. So don't worry. I know I didn't get everything I wanted in this video, but if I come up with something really good, I will be sharing it with you. I promise I don't want to leave you behind. Now, I had so much fun creating those canvases, but can we please talk about those little mini vignettes with the bunnies? My heart, my heart. And when I went through my spring supply stash, oh, it felt like Christmas. I know it's spring and I love that it's spring, but I kept coming across all these goodies that I'm like, oh, I forgot I had you. Oh, I had so much fun creating them, and I need to create more. But I think I need to shift and work on some bigger pieces, and I gotta assemble a raffle for it. But it was so good. It was so good to be back in the realm of creating. So a friend and I were texting back and forth, and she mentioned how a year ago she would not be, if her future self said, hey, you're going to be creating this type of medium and this kind of hobby, that she wouldn't have believed it, because sometimes we get stuck in one area of creating. And it just was a good reminder that we evolve, we change, allow ourselves to do that. Like, if I stuck to some of my very first things that I would have done, it would have been lots of collages, especially with magazines, and it would have been making paper cards. Like, those were like my, let's just say, bread and butter. One was from middle school, high school, and one was from like the college, young days. But I have learned so much about who I am as a creator and what fills my creative soul. And, I don't want to limit. Like, maybe something else is going to come around the corner, but then maybe I'll come back, make that full circle and come back to something. Man, the Band-Aid looks so funny. Sorry. I just wanted to protect it while I was creating. But I just want to encourage you to do something that's going to refresh your creative soul and have fun. And if you need to, go wander the craft stores or do a really, really fast trip like I did. I can't believe that I did Hobby Lobby and Michael's in like, I think 35-ish minutes between the two. Like, it was impressive. But yeah, so I got to keep working. Next video, you're going to see so many fun things. You're going to see all about the craft show, my vignette, and just that whole process. Any creations next week that I feel like you have to see. And oh wait, you know what? It's going to be a surprise. Until next time, I hope you have a lovely weekend.